Every day, millions of people are buying cheap clothes from companies like Shein, H&M, and Zara without really thinking about the low prices. But these low prices come from the work conditions that the workers face and the environmental impacts. Workers are often working up to 36-hour shifts and 80-hour weeks without really any sanitation or clean water. And the textile waste that goes into this stuff produced is just not worth it at all. My presentation focuses on the problems caused by fast fashion and why the United States should take action. My thesis is that the US Congress should pass legislation requiring supply chain transparency and import restrictions on fast fashion companies. This policy would require brands to prove where and how their clothing was made and hold companies accountable for unsafe labor practices and textile waste. The goal of this policy is to protect vulnerable workers, reduce environmental harm, and promote fair economic growth in the United States. This policy could also strengthen laws similar to the Fabric Act and close loopholes that allow companies to import cheap products without proper inspection. There are three major reasons why this issue matters. The first is the harm that goes to the workers. The industry employs around 60 million workers worldwide, and yet 2% earn a living wage. Many workers in developing countries face unsafe conditions, low pay, and excessive hours because companies prioritize the prices and the cost, the money that they're getting over the people. One example is the 2013 Rana Plaza factory collapse in Bangladesh, which killed a little over 1,100 people. That tragedy was kind of like the catalyst for this fast fashion thing. Second, the fast fashion damages the environment. The industry is responsible for around 10% of global carbon emissions, and fabric dyeing causes major water pollution. Producing just one t-shirt costs 2,700 liters of water, and because the trends are quickly moving and stuff, we're quickly producing stuff and just in the cycle of just throwing things away. And yeah. The policy, third, would help create fair economic growth. Companies that follow ethical labor laws standards struggle to compete with these corporations using cheap labor overseas. By enforcing transparency and fair labor laws, businesses that treat workers ethically would have a better chance to compete fairly. There are some concerns about this policy, with critics arguing that it could be hard for low-income families to afford clothing. And the argument to this is, well, first, we're not getting rid of the clothes entirely. We're just making it more efficient. We're making it better for the environment, better for the economy, and by reducing textile waste and being able to produce clothing in a more efficient way, you're able to make more of it and at lower cost. And second, there's also things like secondhand markets in thrift stores. So in conclusion, fast fashion is more than just cheap clothing. It contributes to worker exploitation, environmental destruction, and unfair economic systems. By passing legislation that increases supply chain transparency and restricts unethical imports, the U.S. can protect workers, reduce textile waste, and encourage fair economic competition. The biggest takeaway is this: when these companies are forced to value ethics over speed and profit, consumers, workers, and the environment all benefit. Thank you.